Hello and welcome to Job Sports Reports. We are 3 days away from the biggest game in club football, Real Madrid versus Liverpool in the Champions League final. I thought I'd come back onto my YouTube channel and decide to do a preview on it, where I think the game may be won or lost in this case. Looking back on both teams' runs to the final, Real Madrid obviously have had a much more tougher run than Liverpool have had, looking back on their campaign, especially going from the knockout rounds onwards, having to defeat PSG, Bayern Munich, and Juventus to get to the final. Liverpool have had a slightly easier time of it. Got out of the group stages in first place, beat Porto, Manchester City, and Roma to get to this position. It should go down as an absolute classic, shouldn't it? Both are very, very attacking teams. Both teams don't really know how to defend, do they? I mean, Real Madrid have got a better defence. You look at Carvajal, you look at Ramos, you look at Varane, you look at Marcelo, and they have what you think to be a Champions League winning defence, but they haven't shown it in this campaign this season. You look back on the game against Juventus, and you were 3-0 up from the first leg away from home. You think, go back to the Bernabeu and just see it out there, but they made life really, really difficult for themselves. And bar a very, very controversial penalty decision and a controversial red card to Buffon, they went through to the semi-finals. And but Liverpool, you could see from January onwards the difference that Virgil van Dijk has made. 75 million from Southampton. If he wasn't there, I don't think Liverpool got to the final. Obviously, no one really would have known what state Liverpool would be in if Van Dijk had stayed. If Van Dijk had not come, and if Coutinho had stayed, would Liverpool be in the right sort of position now defensively? Obviously, you'd be talking about Lovren and Klavan, even though Klavan's injured, Matip's injured. So you don't really think that Liverpool would have gotten to the Champions League final without Virgil van Dijk. This has all the potential to be one of the greatest Champions League finals of all time, as you look at both teams' attacks. You look at Real Madrid, Karim Benzema. Okay, he's not been that great this season, but given opportunity, and he will take it. Gareth Bale, you look back to the final against Atletico Madrid, the first final against Atletico, where he basically scored the winner. Obviously, Real Madrid went on to win 4-1, but it was his header that really set off the goal fest for Real Madrid that night. And of course, Cristiano Ronaldo. Start of the season, he just looked all over the place, but he's turned it around and had one of his better seasons over the last few years, especially from the second half of the season onwards. And then you look at Liverpool's front three, of course, with Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, and of course the Egyptian king, Mohamed Salah. 44 goals in all competitions this season, 32 in the Premier League. That's a new Premier League record. Liverpool scoring 42 Champions League goals, I think it is, this season, which is an absolute record. So they know how to score goals, and they have been better defensively in the Champions League. Bar the last few knockings in both legs against Roma, they really shut. You see in the first leg against Manchester City, they really shut out Manchester City, blitzed them the first half an hour, and just calmed it down from there. And they did the same with Porto as well, obviously winning 5-0 at the Dragao, and then having a bit of putting in a professional performance, drawing 0-0 in the second leg at Anfield. Where this game will be won, in my opinion, is in the midfield. Obviously, you look at the creativity that's in Real Madrid's midfield. You look at Modric, Kroos, the defensive side of Casemiro as well. They also have Asensio, Isco. They can also bring on Dali Sabalas, who's been linked to a move to Liverpool. I think he was linked to a move to Liverpool back in January. But you look at that. Look at so much creativity in that Real Madrid midfield. But you can also see that Liverpool's engine. You look at Henderson, you look at Wijnaldum, you look at Milner. That is the core of that midfield. That is the engine of that Liverpool team. And if that doesn't get going, then there's no chance for the likes of Firmino, Salah, and Mane to get anywhere near the Real Madrid penalty area or cause any bit of havoc. So it's really, really important that whoever wins I feel like whoever wins that midfield battle will go on to win the game. If Real Madrid's midfield can play to their potential, create so many chances like we know we can. Luka Modric is an absolute beast on the ball. Then they'll win. If Liverpool's engine can hustle and harry Real Madrid's players get the high pressing going from minute one and then get it to the front three. They know what to do. They've been doing it all season. Then I think Liverpool stand a pretty big chance of winning the Champions League. Defensively, like I said, both sides are not that great. We've seen it countless times. Real Madrid this season, especially in the league, saw their 3-2 defeat to Sevilla, absolutely dire. But Liverpool have done the same as well, so it's going to be an interesting one on that side. It's so close to call because Real Madrid, of course, have the experience. They're going for, I think it's 3 in a row, 4 finals in the last 5 years. It's ridiculous at this stage, and people talk about the experience of Real Madrid, and they talk of the situations of big games. They've done it before. They'll probably do it again. Who knows? They'll probably do it Saturday. But Liverpool, you just look at them and just think they just play for fun, don't they? They just play for absolute fun. They enjoy what they do. Firmino, Salah, and Mane is one of the best front threes Liverpool have seen in a long time. It is better than the 13-14 campaign when they nearly won the league, you have to say. Obviously, they had Suarez, Sturridge, and then a mixing of others like Gerrard. They had Coutinho, they had Sterling. They had kind of a mix of other players, but you look at that front three and you just think, how are Real Madrid going to stop that? Although you could say the same about Real Madrid's front three. How are Liverpool going to stop that? Is Trent going to be okay going up against Cristiano Ronaldo? Is Lovren and Van Dijk going to be up to the occasion? Can Loris Karius solidify himself as Liverpool number one? I'd say if he performs anywhere near he did in the quarterfinals against Manchester City, then I think Karius has a magnificent chance of being Liverpool number one. Obviously, there's been links with move for Alisson of Roma. So Karius needs this. He needs to put in one hell of a performance against Real Madrid if he is to solidify himself as Liverpool's number one for next season. It's so hard to call. It is so hard to call. Obviously, my head is thinking the experience of Real Madrid are going to be too much for this Liverpool team. They've done it before, like I said, they've done it before. We've seen it last year, we've seen it the year before that, and it's just, this is Real Madrid's era. This is from the 10s onwards, it's been Real Madrid's era. But my heart's just saying Liverpool have enough in them to scare this Real Madrid team. They really do. They have enough in them, firepower-wise. And Van Dijk, he's going to be the main reason Liverpool win the Champions League if they do go on and win it. Because Virgil van Dijk is a leader at the back. Liverpool before, you have to say from the start of the season to January, they didn't really have a leader at the back. They had Lovren and Matip. They weren't shouters. They weren't organised in defence that they should have done. Liverpool needed someone like a Jamie Carragher, a type player, just to shout at people, get people in the right position. That's what Van Dijk has brought to Liverpool. He is one of the main reasons why Liverpool are in the position they are at this moment in time. So, for me, to give a score prediction on this, it's very close to call. I mean, this is one of the most hyped finals ever. It could easily just end 0-0, but I don't see it like that. I could see this being a 3-2, a 4-3, a 4-4, 3-3, whatever. Just pick a number and just go with it. But for me, Real Madrid may just have too much for Liverpool. But it's so hard to call this. It really is. I'd say Liverpool 3-2. I'm going to say Liverpool 3-2. I'm going to be massively wrong. I desperately want to see Liverpool win the Champions League. It's not just because it's Liverpool, but because it'll be a bit of a change. It'd just be a bit of a change. Real Madrid have just been too good over the last few years. It'd be nice to see someone else win it. You know, if this was a Chelsea or an Arsenal, I'd still be going for Chelsea or Arsenal going for this, lads. I wouldn't say Arsenal now, should I? I shouldn't really be saying Arsenal. Oh, Man City. Arsenal are going to be in the Champions League next season. Who knows if Unai Emery will be able to get them back. But going back on topic, this should be a final for the ages. It has to be. Two of the most attacking teams in European football going at each other for the biggest prize in club football. What more can you ask for a Champions League final? If you like this video, please subscribe. I hope to do a lot more. I know I've said this before. I've said this before, and I haven't been good on my word. The transfer window is now open, and the World Cup is coming up. I hope to do a lot more videos over the next few weeks, months, whatever. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think I should do with this YouTube channel. Should I focus mainly on transfers? Should I should I make a World Cup prediction? Maybe that could be the next suggestion for me. Make a World Cup prediction. I'll probably get a reaction video out for the Champions League final, as in my thoughts to it and what went wrong, what went right for either side. But until then, this has been Job Sports Reports, and I'll see you in the next video.